Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Getting to the Human's Mind with your host Habiba Kafafi. Hello, welcome back. It's 2023. Glad to have you guys back. It's been a while. For today's episode, today we're going to be focusing about how to pretty much improve yourself onto becoming a better Muslim or Muslimah, inshallah, as for this year, and just generally becoming a better person. And my biggest advice and my biggest tip, I would say, on doing so and just trying to, self-improve yourself is doing so by pretty much grabbing a piece of paper. First things first, grabbing a piece of paper and just blurting out everything you want to do this year. As simple as it might seem, it actually can achieve a lot because you're noting down the things that you want to do. Hence, they're kind of like permanent. You're not just putting them in your head, you're letting out what's in your head onto a piece of paper, so you're kind of taking a step forward to your goals this year, inshallah. So first things first, as we said, we're gonna grab a piece of paper, blurt out everything. You're gonna write pretty much everything you want to achieve this year, from like the smallest things to the biggest things. I'm not talking about owning a house this year, owning a car, getting married, traveling to I don't know what. Your goals don't necessarily have to be like that. They can be the tiniest, smallest goals ever, and they're personal, so it's your goals. Nobody is writing down your goals, so you're having this opportunity to kind of shape how your year is going to be like. So as small as they can be like going to the gym this year. You want to be more active, you want to be more fit, reading more, reading more Quran, praying, in a better way, maintaining your salah, everything. And inshallah, I'm going to be discussing how to achieve your goals in a general way and how to achieve your goals from an Islamic perspective, and what you should pretty much involve from a general perspective. I would personally say for some ideas you can have is that you can list down some goals of personal goals. They can be trying to read more this year and kind of enhance your knowledge on a certain topic or a certain area, get to be more intellectual, basically, get to if there's this one thing that interested you last year but you didn't really have the time to focus on it. Personally, me, I was interested in fashion design, but I started discovering by the end of it that I was interested in it. I didn't really focus much on it, so inshallah I'm planning this year on focusing, making a time for it throughout my day, so I can actually reach to a certain point that I want to be in, see results, so, and just make sure whenever you want to write, your goals or your the tasks you want to do this year, try to make them as small as possible, small chunks, so they can be as consistent, because to take your goals seriously, you have to make them realistic. You don't want to write some far-fetched goals, and then by the end of the year you're gonna see yourself with literally no results, because let's be honest here, I've been doing that for quite a while right now, and I fell into the hole of writing some goals that are very unrealistic, things such as having A stars this semester, and obviously by the end of the semester I'm just here with decent grades, but obviously not just I'm not suddenly a straight A student. That is very not realistic. So try to be as realistic as possible so you can take them serious, and so you can also be consistent with them. So that's for the general goals. And let's also you can also include goals that are related to your major. If you're a university student, enhance your knowledge in your in the desired major you're in. or like if you're working, try to like kind of learn a new skill, or if you're a student in school, you can try to like focus more on your studies, things like that. As for the Islamic perspective that I think most of you guys are listening to this podcast for, especially, I would say that becoming a better Muslim has two things to it. You want to first enhance, actually I don't really think there's a first and a second, but they both kind of like work together. It's like A and B together, and they both have to like be simultaneous, because you can't do either. So you're gonna want to enhance your knowledge in Islam, and you also want to enhance your worship, because you wanna learn what you're gonna learn in Islam, and you wanna act it out. You wanna take some action, because there are people that, mashallah, they memorize the Quran, they know a lot in Islam, but at the end of the day, they're not praying. They don't dress modestly. You wouldn't really tell that person has, is enriched in Islam knowledge. You can't tell, because they don't act a certain way. However, vice versa, someone can be praying, they could be reading the Quran, but they have very, very minimum knowledge. I'm not sure if in Islam there is one preferred on the other, but I think that both are mandatory. Both are are rewarded the same. So first things first that I want to say that you want to work on this year is maintain your prayers. I know I've made a whole episode talking about your prayer and talking about the importance of your salah and how important it is, and how you should keep it close to you, and how it will literally change your life, your days, how you'll have barakah in your days, and how we as human beings, not just Muslims, human beings, we can't go throughout our day without communicating with the Creator himself. So try to maintain your prayers. Try to if you're not the type of person who prays, try to take this year as a step to start praying. Example, Dhuhr every day, start praying the Asr every day, and then slowly start praying the 5 prayers. If you're already the type of person that prays the 5 prayers, try praying on time. Try when the adhan to leave the worldly matters and start praying right away. I know it's hard, I know it's difficult, but step by step, inshallah, we'll get to achieve all these. And if you're the kind of person who already prays on time, try to pray with more khushu'. Try learning your surahs, try changing your surahs. I heard that trying to read surahs while you're praying, that you understand the tafsir, actually makes you have more khushu' while praying. So I think this is a great tip. So that's for praying, and please, I really advise you guys to maintain your prayers. No matter how many times you fall into like missing a prayer or two, or like just going a week without it, try to get back up and continue praying, and inshallah Allah will make it easy for you. Because also keep in mind that the harder the worship, the greater the reward, inshallah. A second tip I would say that it's a very great thing that I think most of us don't really do, or maybe some of us do it, but it's not really common, that as you expand your knowledge in Islam, one of the things you want to learn about is the life of the prophets, you want to kind of learn in Arabic we would say Sira Dhatiya, their biographies. You want to learn their stories, how they lived before, and kind of interpret that onto our today's world, kind of take lessons from them, because they are meant to be our role models. To us, there's no perfect human being, but to us they're the closest thing to perfectionists. So try to learn their stories, try to learn how they lived their life, how they treated people, how they interacted with one another, how they dressed, how they how they were great Muslims, I'm pretty sure you can have better tips from them than me, obviously. So if you actually want to truly become a better Muslim, it's a great advice for you to learn you read the Prophet's life and kind of interpret that into your life. Another thing is, I would say, is I'm pretty sure that most of us are caught up with our dunya, today's world, whether it's school, uni, work, just like life in general. So we don't really get to read the Quran. Just reading it even is quite of a struggle. Like personally, I only get to read the Quran on Fridays for Surah Al-Kahf. But even so, I haven't really memorized anything ever since I left school. Because in school before, alhamdulillah, we had the opportunity to memorize Quran on daily basis, I guess. Okay, so that was probably the last time I ever memorized Quran. However, I think that it's a great thing to get back onto that this year. Try to choose a surah. Okay, so I kind of looked that up, and I think the easiest method, it sounds easy, but doing it actually isn't as easy as it sounds. So also the simpler it is, the more realistic and consistent you will be. Let's keep that in mind. So you're going to choose a surah. Let's say, for example, it's Surah Al-Rahman, right? And you're going to try to memorize that for the whole year. Yes, for the whole year, not the month. If you're good enough to do the tips that I'm going to tell you for a good month, then good for you, mashallah. However, if you can do it for a whole year, and I think this is great, it will be better for you because you're gonna do some things along with memorizing it. So you're gonna try to memorize the surah, you're gonna learn it, you're gonna memorize it in Arabic, and then you're gonna learn the translation. You're gonna not learn it, you're gonna read it. You're gonna read the translation of it. So let's say, for example, you understand English better. Arabic is understandable, but I personally feel like the Fusha Arabi, the Arabic in the Quran, is sometimes too sophisticated. It's kind of hard to understand. So I would personally read a translation in English, and I would understand. Okay, now the translation on its own, it's not enough. So what you're going to do next is you're going to read the tafsir. Now the tafsir is very important, and I would advise you to kind of read the tafsir, and not only just read it, but watch the tafsir from Islamic lectures. There are a lot. There are tons. You can just look it up on YouTube. There are tons of Islamic lecturers who, they explain the tafsir of the Quran in such a beautiful manner. I remember the last time I looked at the tafsir of Surah Naba. It was so beautiful. I was literally mind blown, mesmerized from the miracles of the surah, the way it's structured. Fun fact, the structures of the Quran, the structure of the surahs itself, the structure of the verses of the Quran is not just random. It has a whole meaning behind it. And as we learn the meaning of it, it's so impressive, It actually it plays a role in your life, It kind of guides you somewhere in your life, because we're meant to actually learn from the Quran and interpret what's in the Quran in our life. So it would be beautiful if you learn the tafsir from the Quran, and you can even write it down. I've seen these videos that there are these Muslim girls, they would have a little notebook where they have a dedicated session where they learn the tafsir of the Quran an hour before they start their day, and it's very beautiful, kind of studying the Quran like all your other subjects. And obviously you want to put a dedicated time for the Quran just as your subjects, because prioritize where Quran comes first, obviously. So you're gonna do that, and inshallah by the end of the year you're gonna find ease in learning the surah. And also keep in mind, when you learn the tafsir of the surah, not only it's gonna be beautiful when you understand it and understand the lessons behind it, but when praying you're gonna have different surahs to read while praying, so that also will help you have more khushu', and it will be beautiful. Tip number 4, I would say learning as well a specific dua, and try to kind of repeatedly say it throughout your day. I know that Allah accepts all kinds of du'as, whether it's in Arabic, whether it's in any other language, and you don't have to say it in a formal way, like for example the du'a رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. You can, the meaning behind that dua, you can say it in any other way. You don't necessarily have to say it that way. However, the reward is obviously greater, and it's much better. It's better communication with the Lord himself when you ask him in a beautiful manner, in a formal manner. Just like, for example, you're asking something from your professor. You're going to email your professor in a formal way, not the same way you talk to your friends. So you want to do the same thing when asking Allah for help or seeking his guidance. You want to ask him in a beautiful manner. So it would be great if you learn, let's say for example, one dua throughout the week where you repeatedly say it, and then maybe another dua, 3, 4, and inshallah by the end of the month before Ramadan, inshallah you've learned a bunch of du'as and you can say them in Ramadan. Also, along with learning du'as, I would say kind of like list down the du'as. It's kind of like a Ramadan preparation tip, but list down the du'as you wanna be saying throughout Ramadan, because I feel like once Ramadan comes, I'm just like, yeah, but what did I want to say? Like, I'm sure there was something I wanted to say a month ago. You kind of get lost because you kind of like, you're in the moment and you don't really know what to say, so you're pretty much speechless. So it'd be great if you write it down, and I'm saying it again, write it down. Don't just keep it in your head. Our heads, our minds are just full of, it's just scattered all over the place. It's pretty much not organized. It's like you want to kind of like declutter your mind storage. So you do that on a piece of paper, kind of like blurt it out loud. So yes, and for number 5, I would say try to learn as well adhkar. Adhkar actually protects us, morning and night, and their evening adhkars. And I would say, maybe adhkars can be, it's also the same thing goes for du'as, they can be hard to learn. So what you want to do is maybe, for example, for du'as and azkars, you can do like put it on your lock screen, a specific du'a. Whenever you open your phone, you can see it, or you can like print it or write it down and stick it on your wall. Whenever you go to study, you can just see it right in front of you, or just write it on a notebook that's approachable. Just like that, a step by step, you will easily understand, easily memorize it. And if you struggle to learn things in Arabic, you can also learn it in English and then translate it to Arabic eventually. Number 5, and this is very important because I feel people that maintain this are very rare, or generally very rare. I won't say I've seen all types of people, but I've seen quite a good amount of people in different places, in different environments, in different ages, different backgrounds. And I would say that, people these days, I don't know, but like people don't really attain good manners as much. Like, it's very rare to find someone who's kind, who's, respectful, who's pure. And the thing is, these good manners actually play a huge role in our religion as Muslims. And they play a huge role on your scale, in your deeds in Yawm al-Qiyamah. Yawm al-Qiyamah, they will be the ones witnessing your a'mal. So, for example, all of a sudden you would see you feeding a kitten, for example, water or something, is going to be witnessing your a'mal yawm al-qiyamah. Or, for example, smiling to a stranger or helping out someone who's lost, out of, just like you're not willing something in return, you're just helping them out because that's how you were taught and that's how Islam goes. So try to stick to these manners more, And they also help in having, better habits and kind of like knowing which people to be with, because keep in mind, people do affect you. In Arabic we say as-sahib sahib, your friend kind of like pulls you, so they have an effect on you. So try to have good manners with them regardless. However, don't let them affect your manners, and protect them at all costs. Your manners, also your friends who have good manners, obviously. Last but not least, I would say try to take this year also as a year to dress more modestly. And I'm not directing this for females only, but also male, because I really think that it's neglected where men are meant to have their own hijab. They usually dress however they want, they act however they want, yet not really, much people comment on it. You do normally see more people commenting on how the females or women should dress. Yes, obviously we physically have our own hijab, but even men are meant to dress in a certain way. From what I know is that men are supposed to, like in a modest way in Islam, they're supposed to dress, with things that are below their knees. You're not meant to wear just like any shorts or just like, anything. However, I don't really have much knowledge about that. You can look that up. But as for females or women, try to dress more modestly. And if you're not even a hijabi to begin with, try taking the step to wear the hijab. I know some of you guys are waiting for the perfect moment to start wearing the hijab when you're all a better Muslim. However, and I am telling you this, there is never a perfect moment to start wearing the hijab, because you will never be that perfect Muslimah as long as you're in this dunya, because we're all sinful humans. You're going to be sinning no matter what, okay? No matter how hard you try, you're going to be sinning. So try your best to start wearing the hijab from now on. And we do not know when is our end. We do not know when Allah will take us back. So you start wearing it before it's too late. I'm not terrifying you, but I'm telling you, it's kind of a reminder to you that try to take this year, I'm generally speaking, like try taking this year to start wearing the hijab. It's a very important role for us humans, for us Muslims in our religion to wear the hijab, because we actually play a huge role in representing our religion, and that's actually a very great opportunity for us. Imagine walking around and doing great deeds and having the hijab on, and people would know that you are doing this because you're a Muslim. How beautiful is that? Also, I'm sure once you start wearing it, wallahi, I promise you will start falling in love with the hijab itself. I started wearing the hijab ever since I was quite, at a young age. And I did struggle to begin with, because I didn't wear it for the sake of Allah. I wore it for the sake of fitting in, because I was raised in Malaysia. However, I would say that eventually when you wear it, or you actually do something for the sake of Allah, you would start falling in love with it, because Allah will make it easier for you. So start wearing the hijab for the sake of Allah, and try to improve from wearing it. I personally I'm gonna try as much as I can to start dressing more modestly. I know it's hard in this century, in this era where all these aesthetic cute clothes and these styles or trendy outfits, it gets hard being a hijabi, I understand, but we also can try our best to dress as modestly as possible. And I would say one thing for men about dressing modestly and putting on the hijab is actually lowering the gaze. Lowering the gaze is actually something that is pretty much neglected when it comes to men. I would see women appreciating a man who would lower his gaze, and they would be mind blown and very impressed. However, I'd be like, that's what's supposed to be happening. That's supposed to be the comment. Why are you impressed? Every other guy's supposed to be like him. So I really think that men should start lowering their gaze more, because it comes along with having good manners. You want to have good manners, and inshallah Allah will make it easy for you. And I hope all these tips will help you guys into becoming the person, inshallah, you want to be, whether it's general goals or from an Islamic perspective. And inshallah, Allah will make it easy for you. And I hope for you guys a like great journey onto this year where you guys fulfill your goals, and I hope to hear great results from you guys. And if you guys need any help in mentioning more tips, I am more than welcome to talk about them precisely. If, for example, the hijab, you want to hear about the hijab in a more precise way, I'm more than welcome to talk about it. And the same goes for all the other tips. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.